Hello everyone, welcome to McFizzle's Hardcore Survival World, Season 5, Between the Streams 5 and 6. And yeah, this is what I've been doing since my last episode. Uh, Most of this is me working on this uh, this skeleton spawner. So I turn it into a XP grinder. I found a video on the YouTube on the YouTube and different from the one I used last time, and I have to say I like this one a lot better because I didn't die when I tried to make it. So it's a little bit simpler, I think, than the other one. I was probably a little bit more cautious this time too, which helps. So yeah, this is me just expanding the room. I think it goes 9 by 9 by 5. And the other thing that I liked was using the polished diorite and polished granite. So you can definitely tell when I'm coming onto the spawner when I'm doing my mining, and you can space out the granite to sort of make it a little bit easier to count your blocks and stuff, which is another tip I got from that video. I should look it up and let you know what it's called. I'd put a link in the description, but I don't really do that. It is Minecraft 1.14 Zombie Skeleton EXP Farm Tutorial. Works on all platforms by Silent Whisperer. SILENTWISPERER. Very simple. It only goes for 6 minutes 49 seconds, which is really short. So yeah, so I highly recommend it. It's a little bit glitchy down the bottom, like you'll see a bit later on in this video, but I'm pretty happy with it. It works well enough for my needs. So yeah, I'm just doing the spawning chamber, finishing the top of that. Make sure you keep your lighting, kept my lighting going, so nothing spawned in there. I didn't really have many close calls when I was making this. I have one little bit where I really got a bit of a fright a bit later on, but other than that, this is about as simple a build as I've had during these hardcore worlds, I'd say. So yeah, Silent Whisperer, good job, buddy. I'll give you a like on your video, and I'll throw you a sub, because
away from all the mobs that spawn.
Oh,
so.
shush. Solid video, and I'll subscribe to you. He's got 172,000 subscribers. Awesome. So, what else am I doing here? Oh yeah, so while I was waiting for the end of the video, I just sort of started extending the main chamber of my base out a bit, but it didn't take very long before it was the end of that little bit. And so now I'm doing the next part of the spawner, which is the build, which is the tunnel and the sort of water elevator. So again, it's just counting the blocks. I found that it was really helpful, made it a bit easier digging this, making this underground. Then I could just build a sort of a staircase around the outside, and using the polished blocks made it really easy to sort of see where the edge of the spawner was. And when I'm finished this whole thing, I'd say the spawner is just going to be hanging, you know, in midair over. Oh, here we go. I think I get an achievement here. Yes, this is one of the achievements I've got 2 times off the stream. It's a sign. It must be a sign. that I need to build a sign in the game. So yeah, I think that's the only achievement I get between these streams. So back into fast forward. So yeah, there's a 2 block sort of hole by 1 hole in the ground, and you dig the tunnel sort of 7 blocks from directly underneath the spawner, so it's out in the direction that you want it to go, and then you build. I was building the whole thing out of the polished blocks just because I thought it looked nice. I like my skeletons to have a nice environment before I brutally murder them. And so this is that's where they're going to land, just there, where I put that block of granite. And then I wanted to make sure that when I've used spawners in the past, I've always had to use swords, and it's always taken me more than 1 hit with the swords, which I haven't liked. What I like about this spawner is he says it on the video, is I think the one he makes is 19 blocks high. So from the ground of that little hallway underneath the chamber goes 19 blocks up and then across 1 and then down. Whereas he said to go up, if you go up 23 blocks, you can 1-hit kill the skeletons without any weapons. So that's sort of what I did. I went up 23 blocks high from the ground, and works perfect. So the only thing happens every now and again is they get stuck, and you sort of have to clear the clog by shooting one of the skeletons. But hey, that's alright. Hopefully if I get mending it'll be very useful, but I don't know if I'll be able to use it on a sword, because I'll be unless I have it in my other hand or something. I don't know how that works. So while I'm doing the building, I'm just sort of extending my grass out. I'm trying to grow some trees around the outside of my sort of centerpiece there, the giant hole. And this is getting up near the top of the water elevator. You can see I can fill it in with sand so I wouldn't fall down and drown like I did in the last. It's very cautious, much more cautious this time around with the build of the spawner, but it was a lot easier too because it was underground. Okay, this is the third part of the skeleton XP farm build. So this looks like, yeah, I'm back at the bottom of the shaft, and oh yeah, so I'm digging in where they're going to land and putting the polished blocks around the outside again, filling in the holes. And then I sort of thought it would be the easiest way would be to build up the drop from the bottom, so I didn't have to worry about falling down the hole, which I think worked out pretty well. I think I made one little mistake and had to go back and fix it, but it's alright. And yeah, see how I'm doing one layer of diorite and then one layer of granite, just so it's so much easier to count when it's when you alternate the colors. So I had no trouble getting up to the 23 blocks. Yeah, highly recommend using a colored block or something different for the outside of your XP farm. So I think I extend the outside of the this little top bit, so I've got a bit of room to walk around, and then I put up the walls of the top section, and that's probably it for this section. Yeah, so there's the little walls. I put a block of dirt over the hole so I don't fall in it at some point. Maybe it's in the next video. This whole time I'm struggling for space. That's why I wanted to grow some trees so I could get some more chests. But I haven't had any luck growing trees, so I'll work on that a bit later in this video. So I think this is the killing chamber. So I sort of I put the slab down, so that's where the they're going to land, and then I have to make a double chest, so I'm clearing out all this inventory, and then you put a hopper. So you sort of face the I didn't know this, but if you want it the hopper to in direction, you face the object that you want it to be connecting to. So I put these double chests in first and then connect it to the hopper. See, I failed the first time, and then as soon as you face the actual item, it connects up to it. And so I think that works, so I just neaten that room up a little bit. And then I think that's the end of this little bit. And then it's on to the next bit, which is putting the water in. I didn't want to do the placing the individual blocks, and I didn't want to go and find I didn't have a silk touch pickaxe anyway, so the quickest way, as was told to me by a ghosted memer, was to use kelp. So you can put one block at the top of the water elevator, and you fill it up with kelp, and then you break the kelp out and put your soul sand in, and there's your water elevator. Worked a treat. And so while I was out, I thought I might as well collect a bit of dirt for the grass field around surrounding the giant hole. So collected a bunch of dirt. I think I even get a squid too, if I recall. But this little bay here has been was stoked. It had some kelp in it, so I think I grabbed 3 lots and then head back, collect a little bit more dirt, widen that pathway. So that the pathway that I'm making doesn't even go to the bay. It sort of goes off in a totally different direction. So, but anyway, at least it gives me some dirt. I might put something at the end of it, like a little fishing hole or something maybe, just so it's not there for absolutely no reason. But yeah, that bit's coming along. So back down we go, grab some water. Oh no, we don't. We get our perfect square going around the outside of the giant hole, which is looking good. So now that it's more than 1 block thick, the grass is growing a lot quicker, which is great. But the trees are not growing at all, which is really frustrating. So this is what I was talking about. I think I have to go all the way back up to the top. Oh yeah, that's right. So I have to put some signs in to stop the water from flowing into the elevator, and then I go right up to the top. I've already dug out the sand, placed the water in, go down to the bottom, place my kelp, go back down to the bottom, cut out the kelp, replace it with soul sand, and there you go, water elevator right up to the top. Works a treat. Shout out to Ghosted Memer for that strategy. And we're nearly ready to test it out, see if it works. I've got one more sign to place so the water doesn't drop down the drop chute. And so I close it all in. I think I left a block free just in case I had to fix something. Yeah, put the water down in the bottom of the sort of connecting hallway, and then put a bit of water in each corner. And I think once I turn all the lights off, I realize I should have put a slab on top of the spawner so that if they spawn up there, they don't get stuck there. But I just wanted to see if it worked first. But I'm sure I think it worked. But then they seem to get stuck, so I realize I'm going to have to come back in the next bit and sort it out and see what's going on. So here I am back again, and they're spawning in, but they're not coming down as fast as I would like. So I figured there's a few things I can do. I can go up to the top and just lift the roof of the elevator up by a block so they don't get stuck up there, but didn't seem like there was any up there. So the next thing I could do was put a slab on top of the spawner. So I just get rid of this water here, go in, put a slab on the top, remove the lights, put the water back, close it up. They're spawning in alright. So the next thing is to see if they're getting stuck just where the water elevator starts. So I ended up finding out which sort of block I knock out one of these blocks or two of these blocks, so I get it like a little tiny, like a quarter of a square sized space, so that the skeletons can see me and I can see them. I can see if it's going to get clogged, and so I can also shoot them, but they can't really shoot me. Like, I get shot occasionally. So you see here, it's just there, that's the block directly behind the landing zone and the one next to it. And now you can see them spawning in nice. And this is where I get another achievement here, which I don't even remember ever getting this one before. Because I'm waiting for them to spawn, waiting for them to get stuck. See how they get stuck there? I don't know why they do that, but because they're there, I get this achievement, passing the time. Not even sure what that achievement is, but I'll take it. So there, when they get really stuck in there, I just shoot them with the bow a couple of times. But it's only happened like I think 2 times, and you'll see them in this video. But I basically just stay in this spot so they can see me, they get excited and move forward, and they just fall right into the water elevator, and yeah, off they go. It doesn't take too long, but you know, it's not so much how long it takes, it's just the relative safety of it. So basically got unlimited XP at my disposal now, and unlimited bone meal, and unlimited arrows and bows. So it's very useful, and unlimited armor. You get lots of different armors. So very useful spawner. The skeleton is the ideal spawner, so I end up using some of the bone meal to try and get these trees to grow. That doesn't really happen for me. So I'm pretty sure I just stay here. What is my XP looking? 27. I must stay in here for the rest of this little bit, and then for the start of the next little bit. So I wanted to get the 30 XP so I can try and enchant another diamond pickaxe, so I can continue expanding the base out a bit. And I do that, but just in a different way than I was expecting. So yeah, pretty happy with that little quick build. And so that's the end of that little bit. The next bit, I'm trying to get up to level 30, doesn't take much longer. And then You see in the chest, if I look in the chest, I've got so many bows now, it's ridiculous. So this is where I decide I need to go and get some more wood. So I go up to the, I do the enchanting first. So I think I got Fortune 3 and Efficiency 5 on that. So it's what I already had on the other pickaxe. So I just decided to use that one as my just disposable one. And then up I go. No? What am I doing here? That was the other... Oh, here we go with the bone meal. See, I used like a full stack of bone meal on 3 trees and nothing happened. So I realized that they're not going to grow. So I'm going to have to go up and get some wood since they're not growing. So I have to get my axe out and make some space in my inventory. I'm thinking of making my storage room underneath the XP farm, just to, you know, hopefully encourage them to grow. And because I go into my generally I go into my storage rooms quite a lot, so if I have it underneath my spawner, it'll hopefully mean I'll spawn in lots more skeletons, which would be good. More XP. So cutting down some trees, getting some oak, getting some birch, getting that good wood, and back to the base, make a couple of chests. Realize that I haven't made myself the water elevators yet. Another project for the list. So I made another cobbles chest and other stone chests just quickly, and then another, you know, whatever chest. Since now I know where I want to put my storage room, I'm less sort of starting to organize it. So the other thing I decided I'd do is dig out the roof a little bit more, hopefully creating a bit more space for the trees to grow. And so I think that's what I do for the rest of this video pretty much. So I'm trying to leave where the giant hole sort of, that section in, and then going around to the edges of the base, because I don't think, even when I extend it out, I don't think I need the roof as high as it is here all the way around my base, but we'll see how we go. But yeah, much to Jess's chagrin, I am doing a lot of digging, a lot more digging. But hey, that's what McFizzle hardcore survival worlds are all about. It's all about that digging. Now I've got XP to grind too, so you can expect some grinding in your future. Alright, this is the last bit. So this is where I'm going around the edge of the base, sort of perimeter of the base, and just digging up as far as I can, just so I can know where the dimensions are up in this top bit. But yeah, it's a massive space. It would be really great if I could dig at 20 times the speed that I am digging at, but I still think it would still take a lot of time because there's lots of ores and, you know, other stuff that sort of slows you down. But yeah, I'm going to try not to do this sort of stuff on my stream, but who knows, I might just do it because I want to get it done and it doesn't bother me that much. Oh, what else could I do? I mean, I'm trying to get, you know, my goal is to get the Ender Dragon, try and have a shot at killing the Ender Dragon as soon as possible, but to do that I need to make you know, villager farms and sugarcane farms and all of that sort of stuff, egg farms, and all of that I need space. So, and that means I need digging. So, because I mean, I could do it on the surface, but I want to make this world, the whole base is underground, so it just means I'm digging a lot. Oh well. So yeah, going around the outside, trying not to get crushed by gravel. So much gravel. So yeah, it's a lot of digging. I'm not gonna lie. I'll be digging for a while. So that's why these between the streams are useful, I think, because it doesn't bother me digging when I don't have to worry about that much time to fill talking, and it's so much easier to just do it. It's so much easier to watch and fast forward, I think. So now I've got this massive space with this huge little sort of border, 1 block border around the edges, and then I have to it's just 1 block too low, digging from the top of the sort of the lip there, so I have to go around the outside and do that. And there's a couple of little bits where there's some chambers that need to be either explored, so I'm just filling them in with cobble, so I don't have to get surprised by any mobs, and I can use up some of those 3 double chests full of cobble that I've got. And the spawner sort of gets in the way up here a little bit in one of these corners, so I have to go back around the other way and fill it in from there. But that might be another between the streams, or it might be in the stream, which should be coming up tomorrow sometime, hopefully. Yes, and so yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.